Hey y'all, I just wanted to hop on here really quickly to chat about something that keeps resurfacing for me that I feel like is worth mentioning. So I'm thinking a lot about the stress and the weight of the world and the weight of educating children at home and working and educators and just this like tension and tightness from all the stress and how that really correlates with like feminine and masculine energy and body language and communication and interactions, not only like adult to adult, but adult to children. A lot of what I speak on in at conferences is how to communicate with children in a way that kind of disarms them, in a way that brings down their stress response and doesn't activate it and charge them up to defend themselves or be defensive. So last week actually, posted a blog post about body language and how this plays a part in our communication, especially our communication with children, all the things that we need to consider and try and evolve and adapt and do to communicate better with our kids. And it actually ironically relates to this masculine feminine energy. So in the relationship with communication of children, and even in partnerships or work relationships, like there's usually a dominating and a non-dominating person, the masculine and feminine. And with children, we tend to be the masculine and they are the feminine, or we are the alpha, they are the beta, because we are the authority, we are the adult, and they need to listen to us. But in doing that, sometimes it can activate the stress response. It can gear people up to defend themselves, to regain control, because I think there's often like this loss of control or loss of power when you have to or forced to go feminine or go beta. So I'm going to encourage you to, one, check the blog post that is on our website, and I'll link it below, to learn more about body language in general and how to use it, not only just for children, but to communicate inside of your relationships, whether they be work, friends, family, or your significant other. Because super helpful tips, really straightforward, really easy. Two, I would think about, and I would just kind of like reflect on, what does your body language look like? What does your energy feel like, your tone feel like when you're communicating with other people? Is it more masculine or is it more feminine? And what does masculine energy and masculine body language look like, and what does feminine look like? And if you are more masculine, what are some things that you can do to be more feminine? If you're more feminine, what are some things that you can do to be more masculine? Not a complete switch, but just kind of like a balance between the two. And reflect on kind of where you're at, which side you're on, and then try and pick like one thing to do this week, just one thing that will put you on the other side. So me, naturally, as a speaker, as a leader of an organization, as am in a role of leadership and professorship and all these things, it's so natural for me to go more alpha and to be more masculine and to be the leader and to be the dominating party in a relationship of any sort. So for me, I'm like, okay, well, that means I'm like more tense, I'm more defensive, I'm more like broad, and my volume or my tone or my energy in those conversations becomes a bit more like short and harsh. So what I want to do is I want to tap into that feminine nature, and I want to go into conversations like with the intention of just mindfully listening, and not just to like say something back or to get my point across or to lead or to dominate, but just to be fully present and to listen and kind of like sink back in my body, and not fold over, but just like sink back and settle in and allow myself to sit body language wise in a place that allows me to just be more feminine and tap into that feminine energy. And then I'm going to be attentive to what that does to those conversations. So challenge you to do the same. If you do, come back here, let me know what you did and if it worked.